Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a favor box. It opens in the back just like this, and inside I have these actually match. That's why I got them. They're for under your eyes. You can't really see me, but you put them in the fridge or warm them in some warm water and put them under your eyes, and they kind of soothe. They came in this package. I got them actually from Dollar Tree. But I do have other ones kind of like this that I use because my eyes get very allergic sometimes. So the opening is in the back, and I use the Timeless Arrangement set, new set again from the annual catalog, and the dies have the same name. This is a lot of nice sentiments on here, and the dies give you a lot of, this is also in here, a lot of options for sentiments. I really like this set. So, aside from that, I used Pretty Peacock cardstock, which I love, and Tinsel Gem. This DSP that I use is from Bright and Beautiful, and it goes, I think, actually from Pretty Peacock up to Lost Lagoon, kind of. And this DSP here is from Inked Botanicals DSP. Alrighty. So the theme of this is really Pretty Peacock, which always was one of my favorites. I kept my pack of cardstock, but I didn't keep my ink, and I didn't order it thinking I had it, so I have to order that. So if you do have the Pretty Peacock ink, I would put that in there instead of the basic, the Tuxedo Black. So it measures 3.5 by 3 by 1.5 at the bottom. Okay, I think this is perfect for a favor or a small gift for someone. This time I'm going to switch it around. I'm going to put the flowers on this side and the bow over here, I think. We'll see how that works out. All right, so what we need today is a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock that is 10.5 by 6.5. We need 2 pieces of the Bright and Beautiful DSP that are 3.25 by 2.75, and 2 pieces of the Inked Botanicals DSP that are 3.25 by 1.75. All right, and also I cut this from the Timeless Arrangement dies out of Pretty Peacock, and that goes perfectly with all of the squares, but this is the one I'm using. Okay, all right, so let me start with my cardstock. Please subscribe to my blog and hit the like button, and if you would like to follow my Facebook group, it is In the Pink Designs by Cathryn Facebook group. You can just join, there's no questions or anything. All right, so we're going to start on the 10.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 4, 5.5, and 9. Then we're going to turn it to the 6.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1.5 and 4.5. All right. Now I'm going to fold and burnish all the score lines. Okay, so how we have this is the skinniest rectangle is on the left. There is a 1.5 inch strip on the bottom and a 2 inch strip on the top. And this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so we're going to start on the left hand side. We're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up into the skinny rectangle. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge each side of the square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. Okay, now we're going to turn it to the other side so the skinny rectangle is on the right. We're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and then take that piece off. Okay. Then we're going to go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then we're going to take these 3 rectangles off. So I'm just going to cut it straight along the score line until I have all 3 off. Okay, then we need our corner rounder. Now the skinny rectangle's over on the left again, and we're going to round the corners of this top piece here. All right, and that's what your cardstock should look like after you're done cutting, scoring and cutting. Okay, now I'm going to take some tear and tape. I'm going to put it on what's left of the skinny rectangle next to the score line. I'm going to take my take your pick tool and take the backing off. Okay, now I'm going to flip over the whole thing, bend over the side with the tape, and bend the other side to meet it. Okay, so now this is our back, okay? So I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to put the side tabs in with just a little bit of glue on them. And we're going to pull the back in and then put some more glue over here and put that down and make sure everything is nice and square. Okay, then flip it over and make sure that your tabs are secured on the bottom. All right, now how this is going to work is this flap is going to go to the back. All right, so I'm just going to try to rub in the sides with my finger, just get it used to bending a little bit, and then I'm going to push it in and squeeze it together with my other fingers. You can put in, if you have something bigger than the eye puffy, what are they called? Hot cold eye pads, and then it'll stop where, if it's a lot down here, it'll stop going in. All right. Now we need our DSP, 2 pieces of the Bright and Beautiful that are 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and 2 pieces of the Inked Botanicals that are 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. All right, so the Inked Botanicals are going to be on the flap. So this one we're going to round the bottom. And then this one's going to go on the inside, so we have to round the top of these. Okay, and then we're just going to put them all on with liquid glue, and these 2 go on the front and the back. Okay, now we're just gonna let that dry a minute and we're gonna do our stamping. So we need our piece of basic white and Tuxedo Black. I would use Pretty Peacock if you have Pretty Peacock, or you could use the Lost Lagoon too in there. And I'm going to stamp "You Are So Kind," great, and then "Thank You" underneath it. Okay, all right, and then I'm going to take this square, and you're going to have to let it's still there, but you're going to have to even out how much of the beginning and the end of the sentiment is behind the die. Okay, we also need to stamp the flowers. All right, I'm going to cut these out and I'll be right back. Okay, so there are our cut out, and this is how I did the sentiment. Okay, so now we're going to put our Velcro dot on. So I'm going to put one on this piece, and then the other one upside down with the adhesive up. And we're going to close our box, try to get it nice and even on the sides. Gently press it. You might need to take your pick tool in there to get them separated at first. There we go. And then we can press them hard and reinforce them. All right, so now our box is closed on the back. So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to attach it so this is straight and that these come almost to the edge of the box. All right, so I'm just going to take some liquid glue. I'm just going to dot I'm going to put this, make sure that this line here is straight, and then press the rest of it down. Hi! I had to do this over because my video was lost from this point. So, what I'm going to do next is attach the sentiment piece, and we're going to put it right in the middle of the DSP. Now, this one I did with Lost Lagoon cardstock. That's why it's looking a little bit lighter. All right. So I'm going to take my dimensional backings off. And we're going to place this right in the middle of the actual cardstock. Try to get it as close as we can. All right, so some of your greenery on the top is going to be covered, but that's okay. Okay, so I put a mini dimensional on the edge of this larger flower, and I cut a piece of dimensional for the stem. And what we need is a little bit of liquid glue on this littler flower there. And then we're going to put it on this side. Just about right there. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to tie a ribbon with some Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. It's kind of like a twill almost. All right, and I'm going to make a loop, go over the back, and then put the other side through the hole my finger was in, and then just try to make it as small as you want it. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut the tails. Oops. Okay. All right, and we're going to put our bow right about right there. All right, so decide which side you like. And then I'm going to get my glue dots and some liquid glue. Okay. And then just a dot of liquid glue right on the back of the knot. Okay, and we're going to put it on the edge of the sentiment spot there. I'm just going to trim these just a little. There we go. Okay, and for the final touch, I'm going to be using some Lost Lagoon Tinsel Gems. The Tinsel Gems have 3, and then there's also a Tinsel Gems that has a 4-pack in it. We're using the ones that have Fresh Freesia, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moon, and Misty Moonlight. All right, so I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon ones and my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put one right there. That's a big one. A small one right there. And then another big one over there. Okay, and that's it. This is my host code if you're going to purchase anything from my website under $150, not including tax and shipping. Please put that in. And my website for Stampin' Up! Is linked below, along with the link to my blog that has all the measurements. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.